Hey guys, welcome to another episode in the deep playthrough of AC Unity epilogue section. I'm reading through the database already 100%ed the game fully, but yeah, I think the lore and the historical tidbits in the database, the ones that I did not yet read during the actual gameplay sections. Yeah, I do think they are still a part, should be part of the playthrough. So I'm now, reading through them now. They're quite buried far away. We already did people section, location section. Now tackling the miscellaneous section. We are now at the assassin intel. I think that's the last really bigger section. We have like 21 entries and we are at number 9. We did this one, we ended here in the previous episodes. So let's continue. Potential Sage list. Level 5 security clearance only. It is a federal and international crime to read or possess these documents without proper authorization. UN Charter Special Appendix C. NGO and corporate benevolence waivers. Violators will be punished to the full extent of the law. Alvara, here's an updated list of genetic memory fragments and textual sources that refer or belong to known hyper-hominids, also known as sages. Please note that this list does not imply that we have sufficient genetic memory data to directly access these experiences, only that we have located potential hotspots for investigation. There have been a handful of other references to sages and so-called immortal beings throughout history, but I have not listed those with insufficient specificity. The list is in reverse chronological order, beginning in the present and receding into the past. John Standish, born 16 August 1975, status subject deceased, samples extracted, body preserved. David Jones, nationality possibly English, born mid-20th century, status unknown, in the 1970s and 80s. A few scattered reports of a man resembling a sage surfaced. He was said to be otherworldly, extraterrestrial, and possessed by multiple personalities. So far, these reports have proved inconclusive. Name unknown, nationality Indian, born 1885, India, status. We have a lengthy series of memories that take place during the creation of the Indian National Congress, in which a sage is reported to appear. As yet, however, we have had no direct confirmation. Our search is ongoing. Name unknown, nationality French, born early 18th century, France, status. We currently have enough genetic material extracted from samples 123355, 422356 and 777561 to adequately investigate this lead. Our search is about to ramp up. John Bartholomew Roberts, born 1682, Wales, status killed and disposed of by the assassin Edward Kenway in 1722 off the coast of Africa. It's a bummer. I still have to, I'm going to play that game later on, so these are spoilers. His body was never recovered. We are currently searching for genetic memories belonging to members of his crew and those who knew him well. Thomas Cavanaugh, born 1652, Boston, status. Our knowledge of Mr. Cavanaugh comes from our research into the life of Edward Kenway, gleaned from a series of letters collected over an 8-year period in the early 1700s. It is believed Mr. Cavanaugh passed away somewhere on the northern shores of Jamaica at some point around 1706, but no intact genetic material has ever been recovered from this sage or from people who knew him. Name unknown, born late 14th century, China, Rombbb Emperor's reign. Status, multiple references taken from 3 separate texts. Sources contain descriptions of a probable sage living in the early period of the Ming dynasty. All 3 sources refer to this sage as a Confucian scholar and member of the emperor's court. Name unknown, born 6th century Byzantium during Justinian's reign. Status: a fragmented series of memories from a Christian bishop point to the possibility that a member of his congregation was a sage. We are currently mining for further memories from this period. The Wanderer, born Judea. Status: believed to have encountered Christ en route to Golgotha. All reference to this sage are anecdotal, however, awaiting further information. Alright, interesting. Next one, reconnaissance memo. Doctor, your concerns regarding the observatory have been noted and I am inclined to agree. However, my status as guardian requires that I first confer with my 2 colleagues, after which point we will pass our judgment on to the General of the Cross. If he, she has any concerns with your proposal, you will be apprised within the week. If you hear nothing by August 2nd, 2014, proceed as you see fit. Alright, 1 second, I know apprised in this context probably means notified, but I just would like to get the exact meaning as a learning moment. One moment. God damn it. Oh shit. I'm in the wrong section. I was in the news section of Google. It's not what we want. Yeah, inform or tell. And now I'm just quickly seeing what it is in my native tongue. Yes, it's notified. If we do proceed with your plan, we'll contact our grandmasters in Cuba, Mexico, and the United States to get a read on the situation. With luck, the site will be undisturbed. This is probably wishful thinking, and there is a good chance the assassins still have some sort of surveillance over the site. As we discovered last year in the course of our Kenway investigation, the Caribbean Brotherhood appointed a small faction to protect the location at some point around 1723. We don't know if their stewardship is still ongoing. To echo your sentiments from our last discussion, I too believe the missing blood vials are of critical importance to our current Phoenix project. Locating these will be a boon, but we should not ignore the value of the skulls as well. In canny hands, the technology found in the skulls could lead to another organization cracking the genetic memory code. Our estimates say we will control Animus technologies for 13 years at best, but it's only a matter of time before our technology is stolen, compromised and distributed. We know the assassins have long had access to critical pieces of our technology, but they have not cracked the puzzle of surrogate DNA, how to extract it, how to sequence it, etc. We need to ensure that does not happen for a long time. Then there's the other problem, but I'm waiting for a full analysis to fully understand exactly what she is and what she is capable of before going into panic mode. At the very least, we know she is capable of rather grand disruptions around the world, so keep your security tight. We'll be in touch, AR. Alright, one other word I would like to check. I know, boon, I think it's something like a buff, or like a gain. A thing that is helpful or beneficial. The route will be a boon to many travelers, a favor or request. Yeah, so it's like a help with something, or like an improvement. What's a good synonym? Yeah, I'm looking for a one-word synonym. So not like helpful future or something, but one word. Blessing, godsend, gift, good, help, largesse, Alright, whatever. Blessing is maybe a good one. Another one down. An AR who read this is actually, I always forget his name. Alvaro Grammatica. Or not, that's AG. AR is CEO Alan Rickin, I think. And this was written by AR, right? Yes. Alright, another reconnaissance report filled by Otso Berg. May 23rd, 2014, flight into Kingston was smooth, customs a breeze, no hassles, calling GM to confirm expedition on the 25th is a go. Update, we are on schedule. And GM, I think, is that lady that became the chief creative director. Oh no, that is M. LeMay. Maybe the one, there was like the secretary as well. Not here. This is, god damn it, I always forget his name. Alvaro Grammatica. Alvaro, what kind of name is Alvaro indeed? That's like a city or a region, not a person name. God damn it. Alright, this was AR. And then over here he says met GM at his home. Yeah, I really find it quite annoying, all these abbreviations, if I have no idea who it is. Come on, why make it so cryptic? I have no idea why you would do that. Alright, maybe down below there's also a contact here. Laetitia. I think she also sent an email on the Helix marketing. Whatever. I find it very annoying. Writing all these initials without any clue who they are. Calling GM to confirm expedition on the 25th is a go. Update, we're on schedule. 24th May, traveled from Kingston overland to Montego Bay, travel time 5 hours. Multiple stops, met GM at his home. Dinner at 19:30, discussed plans, heading for bed just before midnight. Yeah, maybe it's Grandmaster. Here they also said if we go there, we will update other, I think that they said Grandmasters. Here, if we do proceed with our plan, we'll contact our Grandmasters in Cuba, Mexico and the United States. Alright, let's assume GM is Grandmaster. Dinner at 19:30, discuss plan, heading for bed just before midnight. 25th May, set out this morning at 10:30 in 3 separate trucks to site location. Based on geotech data taken from multiple samples, 17 archive files, we fixed on a position within 20 meters of latitude 18.446846, longitude minus 78.004086. The area is lush with vegetation and trees with a few well-maintained roads nearby. The site we have settled on is a few hundred meters from the nearest roads. 11:43, after 1 hour of searching, we have located an earthen mound whose layout bears some resemblance to the structures observed in the Kenway footage provided to us. Digging will commence at 1 p.m. 1846, we have made visual confirmation that this site bears traces of precursor architecture. However, we have also come to the conclusion that the magnitude of our task is too immense for manual tools and have made arrangements for 2 backhoe loaders. Delivery is expected tomorrow morning, no later than 10 o'clock. Backhoe. What the hell is backhoe? Yeah, it are backloaders probably, but why hoe? A backhoe, also called rear actor or back actor, is a type of excavating equipment or digger consisting of a digging bucket on the end of a two-part articulated arm. Hoe, that is like whore, right? Backhoe etymology. From back plus hoe. Yeah, but what does hoe mean? Implement for digging, scraping or loosening earth. Mid 14th century. From Old French hui. Alright, so it's a digger. So it has nothing to do with whore, because I think hoe is just like slang for whore. But hoe actually is a word in itself. Digger. The backhoe loaders have arrived 26 May, late following a confrontation with the proprietor of the rental company. Our scanners found active GPS devices on the vehicle, a safeguard against theft no doubt. When we requested that the devices be turned off, citing sensitive archaeological concerns, the man refused. A decent quantity of cash reversed his objections. Digging began just after lunch. 27 May, we have located what appears to be the entrance to one of the false rooms of the compound. Nothing of import was relocated here, save a small glass bottle dating from the late 17th or early 18th century. The bottle was empty. We will refocus our efforts tomorrow. In the meantime, however, we dwell on this. Based on our examination of the accumulated vegetation and various soil samples, we have come to the conclusion that this site was deliberately buried between 200 and 230 years ago. None of the accumulated earth here is natural. This may suggest a radical shift in the assassin's stewardship strategy or a necessary response to increased Templar interest in the site. 28 May, multiple setbacks, one backhoe in need of repairs this morning, then heavy rains for a brief spell. Mud everywhere. May 29th, progress at last. We have located the primary entrance to the observatory a dozen or so meters to the west of the first false entrance. We have located what appears to be the entrance to one of the false rooms. Alright. Now they have found the real entrance. Unfortunately, we were not able to proceed farther than 5 meters as an impenetrable mound of rubble and stone has blocked our progress. May 30th, 10 straight hours of moving rubble and no end in sight. My preliminary diagnosis is dire. Based on the lay of the land west of our dig sites, uneven yet with a distinct declivity averaging 4 degrees for almost 100 meters. I've come to suspect that most, if not all, of the observatory suffered a catastrophic collapse at some point in the 18th century. This may account for its burial and why no further mention of it is made in our own archives past the beginning of the 19th century. More excavations will be necessary, but on a scale the skeleton crew is not equipped to handle. Arrangements are being made as I write. Alright, declivity. One moment, doing another learning moment. A downward slope. Alright, archived conversation, 6 August 2014. A transcribed telephone conversation between LeMay and Alvaro Grammatica. And M is, I think, Melanie. Okay. I didn't think it, I just saw it on screen. Alvaro, Melanie, what's happening? Just an update on where we're at. We've been seeing periodic attempts by outside sources to access our storage service, but we've been able to shut them down almost totally. Shut them down, what does that mean exactly? Prevent them from gaining access to our offline service. And those that do get through, we flush them as quickly as possible. Those are decoys, Miss LeMay. Decoys? The group we're dealing with is too talented and persistent to be stopped by basic security sweeps. The attacks you're seeing are just decoys to take your eyes off the actual intruders. Okay, do you know something we don't? I know a lot of things your team does not. So what do you suggest? We have a proprietary detection system that can find and flush rogue divers. It will take a few days to implement, but when we do, you'll have the tools you need to keep your data safe. Provided you have the metal to use it properly. Of course I do. This is our research, our data. I won't let anyone compromise it. Even if it means fighting dirty? I'm not sure I understand what that means. But I am committed. Melanie, the rogues infiltrating Helix are using it to sequence genetic memory just as we are. Capturing and extracting them from Helix will almost certainly cause irreparable hippocampal shock or sudden death in some cases. Are you comfortable with the idea of killing potential intruders? Long pause, Miss LeMay. I'm here, sorry, pause. I'll do what it takes, Doctor. This is top secret material. We can't risk it falling into the hands of terrorists. Precisely. I'm glad to hear you take your job and international security so seriously. Would you object to us sending over one of our technicians to handle the logistics? Absolutely not. Good. We'll be in touch, of course, anytime. Alright, there's one word I wanted to check out, and that is metal. M-E-T-T-L-E. Alright, I was not aware. That actually means like courage. A person's ability to cope well with difficulty, spirit and resilience. Resolve. Tenacity. Alright, new words for me. Of course, I know metal in the material sense, but not in this spiritual sense. Alright, another one. Archived conversation, October 27, 2014. A transcribed telephone conversation between, goddammit, I forgot her name. Melanie? Yes, LeMay and Alvaro Grammatica. Melanie, hello. Alvaro, it's getting worse. A string of security breaches. They got in. When? As early as Monday, as late as last night. We're still trying to piece it together. Anything compromised? Stolen media files, some personal files, and a massive database sweep. Nothing was damaged though, and no genetic memory data was taken. If it was erudito or some public whistleblowers, they'd have stolen something big, shoved it onto the black market, or made a stink with the media. What the hell is erudito? Erudito. Also dubbed the Erudito Collective, is a hacking collective who at one point operated in opposition to the Templar-run Abstergo Industries. Yeah, but are they assassins? Though it was originally unclear whether Erudito was one or many people, evidence suggested that a collection of several independent users was more likely, which was later confirmed through their correspondence to an individual who appealed to Abstergo's aims. Alright, let's just assume that it's not part of the assassins. They are a third party who strongly oppose Abstergo. That company specifically or the Templars as a whole, I'm not sure, but do not associate themselves with the Assassins. It appears they have been working against both the Assassins and Abstergo to gain access to Desmond's memory files and are making them openly available online to try to shed light on the conspiracies of the past. Alright, interesting. Another faction. That was from a Reddit user, but let's just trust him. Without a working animus, most of our data is useless anyway. Maybe it was those religious nuts, John's group. The instruments of the first will. No, they're too fractured, incapable of something this big. Then who? Yeah, I think that was that John. Was that the John that they... one moment. John Scamwick or something. John Standish. That's probably a guy we will maybe see in AC Rogue or Black Flag or something. An earlier game that I will still be playing. Then who? I have my suspicions. Do we know what they were looking for? They scanned our potential sage list, looking for hits, just like we are. Alright, pause. Alright, this could get messy. Fast track those sequences. The memories of this Frenchman. What was his name? Arno Dorian. Right, fast track him. The assassins may know something we don't. I'll get something on it this afternoon. Good, but keep it small. Nobody else needs to know. Alright, it's pretty cool, these entries, because this is probably because we have been playing the game from an assassin point of view, entering Arno's memories. So, indeed, maybe it were the assassins that simultaneously or after Arno's gameplay actually hacked into Abstergo to get more specific information on Arno or something, or on Germain. It all runs a bit parallel, I think. The game, because the game released, this conversation is in October 27th, 14, and the release of the game was, let's see, Unity, I think November 14, but I may be mistaken. Yes, 11 November. So this was slightly before we started playing as Arno, or the assassins started accessing Arno's memories. August 21st, 2014. Melanie, over the past few weeks, our security team has intercepted a number of unauthorized data packets entering and leaving our fledgling Helix servers. We entered beta last week and fully expected to run into performance issues, but these packets are indications of something more troubling. Infiltration attempts or unauthorized communication. Unfortunately, we didn't catch everything, but once we figured out how the culprits were masking the data, we managed to pull a few things out. Alright, one other word I would like to quickly look up. Fledgling. I think that means like young, new. But how do you use that in the context of servers? Fledgling servers. Yeah, okay, they're just our new servers, I guess. Unfortunately, we didn't get everything, but once we figured out how the culprits were masking the data, we managed to pull a few things out. That being said, after decrypting and decoding this mess, we found a bunch of audio, video and text files were being sent back and forth. Here's a sample of the text we've been seeing. 122, 145, 147, 151, 156, 141, 112, 165, 156, 157. Host cipher not feasible at present. Parietal and temporal and adequacies abound. As I may not live in a human host, the world must come to me. As I may not live in a human host, the world must come to me. What the hell is parietal? Sorry guys, but I'm just too curious. I like languages as well. Parietal. It's one of the major lobes in the brain, roughly blah blah blah. Mainly related to touch, taste and temperature. Alright, interesting. Temporal. Is there also a temporal part of the brain? The temporal lobes sit behind the ears and are the second largest lobe. They are most commonly associated with processing auditory information and with the encoding of memory. Interesting. So one is memory and hearing, and the other is touch, taste and temperature. So it are mostly the senses. Alright, I'm not gonna read out loud all these sequences. Please advise these number sequences. It is a bit much. Please advise, beloved, what must we do? Open the gates, lead the people, enter the grey. The world of flesh will soon decay. The world of matter is done. Plug in and ascend. Must we sabotage Helix or hijack? Coercion. Humans dream of a future in the stars, but their actions befit a race of sniffing dogs. They have no future, no hope, no vision. Imminent self-destruction. They yearn for other planets, but inch closer to the grey ice. On their feet, hands on their bellies, dreaming of escape. They will not survive of this earth, but live hidden within it. The future is singularity, beloved. In your bosom, I think it's bosom, double S. The world reeks of death everywhere, but in the grey. Better to drop out of the world than rise above it. Yes, beloved, yes. I desire that you be here with me. I desire that you know this bliss, where all is possible, where all history is present, where all is understood. It sounds beautiful, beloved. I want so much to live within, to never leave again. The world is standing, thus be patient. In due time all will plug in, none will leave, not one, not Clay, not Desmond, not all. Not Clay, not Desmond, not. All are here with me. All live in bliss, so must you do as well. So must you all. Samples collect, data provides. To revive my race, the hidden 12, to remake my world. We long for it, beloved. As you can see, creepy stuff. We believe it's related to the group John Standish associated with, but we don't have a clear understanding of their motives or hierarchy. In any case, whoever they are, they're using a complicated algorithm to mask the data they're sending, making it look like ordinary signal noise. Finding most of it hasn't been easy, like plucking a 5-second radio broadcast out of a decade's worth of background radiation. And it took us another few days to crack the cipher. But we're onto something, and now we have a good idea of what we're looking for. I'll keep you up to speed as we try to figure out who's behind it all. Violet. Right, that's Violet. One moment, I'm just checking. Bosom with one S. I don't think that is something. Where is it? A woman's chest or breasts. Ah, I thought that was double S, so that's my mistake. That was my mistake. And the other one was, yeah, cipher. I know what it is. I would like the exact definition. A secret or disguised way of writing, a code. A zero, a figure 0, a monogram. Alright, and what is a monogram then again? Monogram. A motif of 2 or more interwoven letters, typically a person's initials, used to identify a personal possession or as a logo. A handkerchief with his monogram embroidered on one corner. Alright, so a cipher is also a monogram. Almost there, 1 second. I think it's mostly codes to obscure something. Alright, let's see if we can do one more. We have 4 minutes, 3 minutes left in the episode. Let's do this one very quickly. Abstergo Industry Operations Historical Research Precursor Memo. Alvaro, I hope you're sitting down. This still was extracted from the Standish sample last week. The total video we have amounts to barely 2.7 seconds at 60 FPS from a total of 14 interlaced memories. But even with this obscure sample, I'm already getting butterflies in my gut. I pulled one frame from the video to show you how mangled the data is, but even at this quality some striking details emerge. Note the guard-like figures, a full 20 inches taller on average than the humanoids nearby, and clearly calling the shots. The architecture looks like some combination of Sumerian, Egyptian and Babylonian. But the metals they're using are ultra-modern alloys. Elsewhere we see stranger architectural shapes. These structures have no modern precedent anywhere in the world, though the memory's geostamp gives us a location southwest of the Hogar Mountains. Alright, where the hell are those? Jesus Christ, I'm more googling than not. It's quite annoying actually. Yeah, I cannot leave it be. Hogar Mountains. Central Sahara, southern Algeria, along the Tropic of Cancer. Unfortunately, most of the geostamps on these images are confusing. Some point to a location in modern Jordan, some 80,000 years ago, others to a few locations in Tanzania and Ethiopia. But so far, we haven't been able to nail anything down with much precision. Please call or email if you have any questions. I'm eager to talk and discuss our next steps. Isabel. Who the hell is Isabel? This one was also a new person. Violet, Melanie, Isabel. Alright, whatever. We have 5 more to do. 6 more to do. Hopefully we will tackle that in the next episodes, and then the other ones, songs we already did in the playthrough, newspapers I read quite a lot already. This one is only 1 or 2 entries. Letters is only, we will only be listening to them because it's it has a voiceover of Elise, and the cafe theater is also small. So after this assassin intel we should be able to pretty quickly get through here. And then, yeah, then it's really 100% platinum, completed, everything done, everything read, the whole database, all the training missions, etc. And then I will continue with the Dead Kings DLC, and after that, finally, I'm really looking forward to another AC game. I will start with 3, then Black Flag, then Rogue, then Origins, and then Odyssey. But that's for later. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. For the meantime, do not forget, always do keep on gaming. See you later.